The front row, Nick Sanchez on the pole, takes the inside lane. To his right, Bailey Curry. 150 laps, 200 miles. It's time to go racing in Music City with the Craftsman Truck Series.
Said after practice he was going to go into the corners like a lamb and off like a lion. He went in like a lion there, made that pass and grabbed the second position. He's pumped up.
I think he came off the corner like a lion too. I thought 3 wide there for a second with Carson Hocevar, the 42.
We know that's going to be a part of this night. Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a wild one. They're going to be all over each other all night long.
15, Tanner Gray. 23, Grant Enfinger. 38, Zane Smith. Carson Hocevar in a 42. All drivers we expect to be a part of the mix here tonight.
Right along with the Rackley truck of Matt DiBenedetto. Matt's being shown right now in the 12th spot.
Just behind Chase Purdy in that 4 Bama Buggies truck. And look up high. These trucks are just looking around for grip, trying to find where their balance works the best in these corners that are so versatile. From the bottom to the top, you can make progress.
There goes Ben Rose, the 99, trying to get around his teammate Matt Crafton in the 88. Nice little squirt of the throttle through the center of the corner. Looks like he's going to clear Matt.
Isn't that fun when they just do that? You know, you're down in the middle. You know it's not time to go yet, but you just goose it a little bit, grab some track position, and then put it down to the floor when you get to the center.
35 is the rookie, Jake Garcia. If he's going to make the playoffs, he's going to have to win. Being scored right now back there in that 20th spot.
That's the 45 of Lawless Allen. He had a bit of a moment over at 1 and 2.
Speaking of which, 13, Haley Deegan. Jack Wood around the outside in the 51. He has contact. Caution is out. First time denied at lap 5.
Man.
Looked like Haley just got a little bit loose under Lawless Allen. Jack Wood with absolutely nowhere to go. Hopefully not too much damage to the front of that 51 truck.
I think it's pretty bad, Phil. There you see Lawless.
See, Jack's made his way to pit road, coming straight down pit road.
He did all he could do. Sometimes wrecks are unavoidable. He got on the brakes and he was able to squeeze past Haley, and then just another truck jumped right up in his lap.
Quite a bit of damage to the back of that Ford truck of Haley Deegan's.
Well, Michael, you talked about how intense things are going to be here tonight. We're only 5 laps in.
Yeah.
This is the best time to go get you a position. Here's the replay of what happened.
She just got in and hit the apron. We saw that in qualifying. A couple of trucks did that. Wood was on his way to be clear, and then the 45 truck of Allen just right up the road in front of him. You can see right there, she hits the apron.
And her truck was loose even before she got up into the 45 of Lawless Allen. As you mentioned, Jack did a great job avoiding Haley, and then Lawless came up the racetrack right in his path.
You know who did a really good job here? Jake Drew in the 66, making his first ever start. And that bright green Ford for Thorsport dove to the inside, no contact. He was right there where all of that was happening.
When you're down on the inside, you're going to be looser. The truck on the outside takes your air away. That's just part of the game. But then you compound that by bouncing it off the apron, hitting the bottom of the racetrack. Then you're going to have issues just like we saw.
And we saw that happen a lot during qualifying. The trucks that bounced off the apron got really, really loose. I think they're going to be able to make some repairs to Jack's truck.
Pretty bad damage, but they're working on it.
Early accident brings out the caution. Your race leader, Nick Sanchez. We're off and rolling in Nashville. This weekend, the USFL playoffs take over primetime tomorrow at 8 Eastern on NBC. Michigan battles Pittsburgh for the Northern Division crown. Then Sunday at 7 on Fox, Birmingham will be rocking as the Stallions take on New Orleans in the Southern Championship game. It's all this weekend on NBC and Fox.
Michael likes the Maulers, and I certainly like the Michigan Panthers.
Of course you do. Maybe I should sit between you two over there.
That's going to be a tussle, I'm going to tell you, but I think the Maulers will come out on top. Kind of exciting for me. We got hungry drivers, and the Maulers are playing in the playoffs.
We had a football mentality on track early here in Nashville.
Right. It's going to be a wild Friday night, I'm telling you. These guys are warming up their tires, taking those trucks back and forth. But the problem is, you put them all together for a restart, that could breed another restart because it's just so much opportunity there. And these racers try to dig every lap. The races are relatively short, so they think 3 and 4 wide on restarts is a place they can make a lot of ground.
They know how important these restarts are, and they've become more important as the years have gone on. They're more important now than they've ever been.
Front row for the restart. Sanchez takes the inside once again, this time to his right, Raja Carruth, who had picked up that second position in the early going. Completing lap 9 as we hit the green flag.
Remember, Sanchez and Carruth were teammates last year in the ARCA Menard series.
Bailey Curry with the push to the back of Sanchez got him loose, but he's able to hang on to it.
Speaking of loose, Zane Smith, 38, skating up the track. Reigning champ hangs on 3 wide off of 2, and we've got another caution.
Result of the first contact, I'm sure, on that 45 of Lawless Allen, blew the right front tire and smashed the wall.
Yeah, that'll be it for Lawless for sure. I don't know how Zane was able to save that truck or how Corey Heim was able to avoid him.
If you look at the history of the Truck Series at Nashville, it will tell you early cautions are a bit of a theme, and we've got it going here tonight, 2 of them, 10 laps in.
Well, Adam, you said it's been a beautiful day, partly cloudy skies now, and getting a report from some of the teams on the radar, they see maybe rain about an hour away. We've talked about intensity. That only ratchets it up that much more. Check out this restart. We noticed the 38 of Zane Smith didn't get a great start, and he gets to turn 1 and almost spins out.
Yeah, great save. And again, watch how the 11 of Corey Heim avoids him. He just felt like he was there. Corey Heim felt like Zane Smith needed some more room. He gave him some more room, and that kept those 2 trucks straight.
2 talented young racers right there, Heim and Zane Smith.
I mentioned earlier, and Amanda said as well, Heim with a week off due to illness, and he early in the week says, I think I'm in good shape. I'm starting to get my legs back under me. And as soon as this race started, you said check, he is in good shape, really aggressive. Let's hear what he's got to say.
A screwdriver just came out of the 2 car, by the way. Just kind of flew out. I don't know if he ran it over or what, but I think that's maybe why the 45 just wrecked.
Well, you see a lot of stuff flying around at times in your career. A screwdriver is maybe one of the most benign things you can see. Big old chunk of lead coming out, that'll get your attention.
Yeah. I had a flashlight up under the dash one time when I was qualifying at North Wilkesboro. Fell down at my feet, so I was trying to kick it out of the way at North Wilkesboro while I was going down the straightaway.
Not distracting.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, is that my phone?
This
Not
is
again.
unbelievable.
Clemson.
We'll have to do a little research and
Joe, get on that, would you?
see who the Clemson fans are.
That's a back straightaway.
Talk to our stat guy, Joe, see if anybody's got any Clemson ties.
I bet it's a South Carolina fan that threw it out there, actually. You know, they're rivals. That takes me back to your moment at St. Louis. It takes me back to Brad Keselowski in the rain-delayed Daytona 500 when he was tweeting inappropriately, right?
Well, we're off to a start. We've had a couple of cautions in the first 10 laps. You can see the rain clouds off to the west and a cell phone's on the back straightaway.
Get a couple of reports from pit road under caution, Josh.
Yeah, let's start with the 23 of Grant Enfinger. 2 wins in the last 5 races so far this season. Coming into the night, wasn't all the way happy with the way that truck was handling, but he was confident heading into this one, saying, hey, we are tight in practice. We'll get there. Well, off the top of the race, he's been a little loose, so they need to split the difference there. But this is a guy that's so confident. He said, we can go to any track and win. A far cry from where they were this time last year before he switched back to Jeff Hensley as his crew chief. They have a lot of confidence, and they say with those 2 wins under their belt, they can afford to be a little more aggressive than usual, Amanda.
Well, Rajah told you earlier, Josh, that he's in like a lamb and out like a lion. I'm still not quite sure what that means, but prolific nonetheless. But when you think of him applying what he's doing here today, he started 3rd on the track, has gained a position, but he's done that by copying Nick Sanchez. Said that he's racing in the traction compound in 1 and 2, and not sure what Nick is doing in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we've talked about the resin that they put down on this racetrack. As we get another look at the phone, they're going to get that phone.
The AMR safety team, phone recovery crew, they do such a great job. If there's a phone on the track, they're going to find it, and they're going to get it and return it to their owner.
And sometimes the owner might say thank you and slide him some cash. I hope you paid the folks that found your phone in St. Louis, Michael.
Well, you know, it's budgetary concerns on my part. Adam, trying to work through some things.
Well, you might add that for the 2024 fiscal year.
Man, I want to see these trucks go racing. We've seen them slipping and sliding and loose and 2 and 3 wide. These caution, and that's me as a broadcaster. Imagine those guys behind the wheel. Some of them, you know, for example, the Gray brothers back there 10th or 12th, 6th or 7th, excuse me. They want to fight through this field. They know they got good trucks.
We'll step aside at the 1/3 point of stage 1, Sanchez out front. Tomorrow, it's a special MLB on Fox as the Cardinals and Cubs head across the Atlantic to London. Plus, Derek Jeter makes his debut when he joins A-Rod, Big Papi, and KB live at London Stadium. Derek Jeter on Fox. I love it. Coverage begins tomorrow, noon Eastern time. Getting ready for the restart. Let's do the choose. Sanchez out front.
He's taking the bottom each time. Raja's going to go to the top side again.
And I think that tells you how wide this track is, how equal things are, because drivers up front were just taking whatever lane the other guy didn't to get that track position. We see how loose it is on the bottom, so that's a little bit risky. But there's more speed on the takeoff, it appears, on that bottom lane.
As we get ready for the restart here, we jump in our pickup truck and remind you the ride that we're on between now and the playoffs.
We're going to do road course racing here July 8th at Ohio.
And then there's a tricky triangle involved in this little truck ride we're on.
And to wrap up the regular season, short track racing in Richmond.
A great 3/4 of a mile short track in Richmond.
All right, let's line these things up, boys, and get it done.
Let's get some laps under our belts here. Let's get this first stage over.
29 laps to go. Stage number 1 as we return to the green. Sanchez, Carruth on the front row.
Chevys fill up the first first 2 rows, excuse me. Raja's hanging right in there.
And Carson's right behind him.
We know how important clean air is. If you can get it, it could be your ticket. Carruth really looking good in that outside lane.
Sanchez hard into the corner. Looks like he's going to be able to clear Raja. Nice job by Sanchez.
That's hard work, isn't it, Phil?
Sure is.
When a guy gets a run on you like that, be able to hold him off.
Bailey Curry in the 41 down on the apron as they came across the start-finish line. He stays inside of his teammate.
Taylor Gray got really loose in the 17 Toyota that allowed Zane to get by in that 38 truck.
A couple of superstars racing for 5th. Zane Smith, Corey Heim, 38 and 11.
Corey Heim with a nice run off turn 4. They're going to take a run at Bailey Curry. Bailey's dropped back a couple of spots trying to hang on.
Corey's going to pull up beside of Zane. Battle for the 5th spot.
Wouldn't be surprised at all to see these two battling for the win come lap 150.
I'll take it a step further. I wouldn't be surprised to see them racing each other in Phoenix for the championship. We go on board Matt DiBenedetto racing with Tanner Gray.
Directly on board, Matt trying to make his way forward.
Started in 15, so he's had a nice start to this race. You see him down on the bottom, no bobbles there, just a strong corner. Not going to be able to clear him, though. Look at that run on the outside by the 15 truck.
We have momentum on the outside for Tanner Gray.
Racing on track, racing for the final playoff position. Came in separated by 7 points, these two. Give that position to Tanner Gray. We also got word from NASCAR. Lawless Allen treated and released from the infield care center.
There you see that cut line, Phil, you talked about, and how important each point can be in these stages, and definitely in this race.
Quiet day for Ty Majeski, qualified 11th. Driver 98 back there in the 19th position.
A good day for Ankrum, though. Moves up to the 7th spot. Grabs that spot from Taylor Gray.
He's coming off a pretty solid run in St. Louis, is at 16. And when you look at where he finished earlier in the year on the road course in Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas, you feel like he could be a player for a win and in at Mid-Ohio. But he said, I'm not waiting to go road course racing. I want to get it done tonight. What's up, Josh?
Well, yeah, and speaking about Tyler Ankrum, this is a guy that felt like he could have qualified better, made a mistake during qualifying, but said, hey, I was faster than the cars during practice that were all around me. Not going to take me a lot of time to get through the field and get into the top 10. The big thing for him is trying to get his way into the playoff picture. He said, it's a matter of, do you chase points or do you chase a win? Whatever you do, you got to go for the win, and you got to try and get your way in and take big swings. That's the thing for the 16 team right now.
He's got one career victory, came 2019 at an intermediate track. Kentucky is where he won a few years ago.
Right up the road. talked to Tyler earlier this season, just a little bit confused about where the speed has been, but they're starting to find their way, and it's a great time of year to be doing so.
Up 10 spots from where he started. See some drivers moving up the racetrack a little bit, looking for some more grip. And it's up there. See Raja up at least the second lane. This is the battle for fourth with Curry in the 41 and Zane in the 38.
Nifty little battle here. Raja the fastest, you see in the pylon there. He's the fastest driver, but there's traffic involved, but he's closed right in on our leader.
By the way, they go by Jack Wood. Jack Wood has met minimum speed after going on the DVP. So did Haley Deegan. So they can continue in the race after being caught in that early accident. Here's Zane Smith going by Bailey Curry for fourth.
Smart move by Bailey Curry. No sense racing him down in the corner, trying to get Zane loose. You put yourself in a vulnerable spot as well. Good heads up move by Bailey Curry.
See that line on the left that Sanchez has taken. He's moved off the bottom. Meanwhile, Carruth still dedicated to that yellow line. A couple of evenly matched trucks right here.
I would say this is a unique, difficult racetrack to go to for the first time in your career, but then I think about all the accomplishments for Sanchez this year, and Carruth got his best career finish at Darlington when he was 6, so these youngsters not intimidated by the concrete that greets them at Nashville Superspeedway.
And Carruth had the fastest truck at Darlington for a bit. We thought he was going to win that race, and he is faster right now than Sanchez.
Yeah, he will figure out a way to get around Sanchez, but both these young men are students of this sport. They don't just leave it at the racetrack. They study hard, work hard in the simulator.
Here's a stat for you. Raja has never led a lap in his rookie season as a driver in the truck series, but boy, he is strong right now, a half a second behind Sanchez, Amanda.
Raja was relaying to his team that he's not going to go any higher in those turns. His team has reassured him that he's okay down low, but he had a 21st birthday after St. Louis and told his team that if he wins here tonight, he might join them for an adult beverage.
There'll be plenty to celebrate if he gets it done tonight. First career win, going to the playoffs. It'd be a big moment for Raja. 29 laps in at Nashville. Sanchez leading the way. 12 laps to go. It's the opening stage for the Rackley Roofing 200 Nashville Superspeedway for the Craftsman Truck Series. It was great racing while we were away. You saw it side by side, and this battle for the lead continues. The 2 is Sanchez, the 24 is Carruth. They are going at it.
Again, former teammates. They were teammates for a full year in the ARCA Menard series.
Oh, can't cut down underneath the lapper, Spencer Boyd.
Are they going to split them?
It looked like it.
I wouldn't want to be Spencer right now, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wise decision by Raja. Roll up, take that outside lane, and look who's joining this battle. Woo. Here comes Zane.
Where did Zane come from?
Hey, I will say, though, Raja's done a really good job of being patient, dealing with everything the opening stage has thrown at him, despite the fact that, as we have said many times, he's got the faster truck.
And you know, Phil, you mentioned it. These guys are students of the game. They've both made some mistakes. They've learned from them, and they're showing so much maturity here. But still, battling on the bottom like Raja's doing is very difficult. The truck wants to get loose. He dives deep into the corner and slides up and takes the lead.
Is there a crossover for Sanchez? There will not be. New leader in Nashville, Raja Carruth, is on point. First time he is led in a truck, and there's the crossover, and Sanchez is bringing Zane Smith with him. This is outstanding. 9 to go, stage 1.
How can you go from leading at the start-finish line to running third coming off of turn 2?
So, hey, tell me about that time you led your first lap. Raja's like, it didn't go so well after that, and now they're side by side for the point. 38, Zane Smith trying to take it away from Sanchez.
There, but can't close the deal.
Raja back there in third. Let's listen in 24 radio.
Starting to lose fuel pressure. My fuel pressure is 20 psi, and it's like someone down the straightaway. My temps are fine.
Oh, look at the truck.
Oh, no.
Dying off. Born driven on the side of that truck, and he was driving it too, wasn't he?
What a horrible break. And that's probably why he went from first to third in the space of a corner as they continue to battle for the lead.
None of us were worried at all about Zane Smith and racing for a championship, despite 4 straight finishes, 20th or worse. So un-Zane Smith-like, but there he goes to the lead.
I will say, though, go back and look at how those finishes happened. At some point in all of those races, he found himself in the hunt, including our last race in St. Louis when he was racing Majeski for the lead with 5 laps to go. They got together and crashed. I think he's serving notice tonight. I came to play, and I am here to defend this championship. Zane Smith starting to stretch his advantage. 6 to go, stage 1. Sanchez is second, Hocevar third, Curry and Heim complete the top 5 as Raja comes down pit road.
If putting fuel in this truck does fix it, then there's obviously a fuel pickup problem in the fuel cell. Doesn't sound like that's doing the job.
We've seen it a handful of times this year where he has flexed his muscles, shown his talent, only to have something go wrong and bad luck bite him. It's happened again tonight, Amanda.
What Raja relayed over to the team was that the voltage was fine on the truck, but the fuel pressure was gone.
Yeah, I was hopeful they could come down, quick fix, keep him in the game, maybe only lose a lap before the end of the stage, put themselves in a spot to get the free pass and stay in it. And unfortunately, extended stop. They're going to lose multiple laps as Zane Smith crosses the start-finish line. 4 to go in the stage, and he leads Sanchez by more than a second.
Yeah, and ran the fastest lap of anyone on that last race by a couple of tenths of a second. So that thing is dialed in. Look at who's rebounding, trying to grab the third spot away from Hocevar, Bailey Curry.
Teammates for Al Nice.
Little inter-squad scrimmage there for Nice Motorsports, right?
Yeah, give it up for the 41. We talked about Raja never led a lap. Neither is Bailey Curry, and he's running in the third spot. He gets the right adjustment at the end of this stage. Might be a player.
Looking down at the bottom of the top 10, you see Tanner Gray. Remember, we showed him just below the cut line coming in. He's in a position to get some good stage points, as well as Matt DiBenedetto 2 spots behind Tanner Gray.
But Gray came in 7 points behind DiBenedetto, so 2 positions in front of him. Those are points that could be the difference in making or missing the playoffs.
Look at this run by Domenico. Right, nice down on the bottom, tucked in there. He's going to be able to try to get inside of the 23. Not quite enough.
He knows that's another point with 2 laps to go. If he can get by the 23 at Benfinger, gain him another stage point.
Meanwhile, Zane Smith, who's already won twice this year, trying to pad his playoff point advantage over the rest of the field. Looking for his second stage win. Final lap for Zane as we continue to watch this battle for 8th. Chase Purdy, Ty Majeski going at it. That's for 15th.
Really surprised that Tom Majeski has not been any better tonight than he has, racing through the 15th spot right here.
Zane Smith, really good in this race 1 season ago. Going to win stage number 1 tonight here in Music City. Sanchez comes home second after leading 37 laps. Curry is third, Hocevar fourth, Heim is fifth. Ankrum having a good night is sixth. Tanner Gray gets the 7th position in front of Enfinger. De Benedetto gets 2 stage points in 9th. Taylor Gray top 10 as well in this opening stint of the race. It's been a while, but Zane Smith has got his eye on victory lane once again. Tomorrow it's baseball night in America on Fox. The Astros and the Dodgers have history. Now the 2 perennial title contenders collide again as Jose Altuve leads Houston against Mookie Betts in LA. Or you get the Twins.
The Tigers.
And the Tigers. Phil's Tigers.
Yes, sir, in
he
Detroit.
said, give me Detroit. Check local listings for the game in your area It's Baseball Night at America. Coverage begins 7 Eastern Time tomorrow on Fox. Stage 1 results. Look at Nick Sanchez. You finish second, you get 9 points. That's huge for a driver that came in 11 below the cut line.
Just trying to point it out here tonight and then get in a position to win this race. What a great run so far for Nick. He needs an adjustment, though. Zane was driving away.
We said it, but I mean, Tanner Gray, Matt DiBenedetto also flirting with the cut line, and they were able to score some stage points there. Zane Smith, and I'm not worried about stage points. I want stage wins. I want playoff points. I want victories. And he's in position to get it done. Pit road is open. They're coming down for the first time, Josh.
Well, Adam, speaking of victories, that's what Bailey Curry in the 41 is here for. He was top 5 in practice, top 5 in qualifying, top 5 in stage 1, but struggling with handling towards the end of that. They're going to make some adjustments to try and help him out, Amanda.
Josh, we're watching fuel go into the number 2 of Nick Sanchez. 4-sticker Goodyears are going to go on as well, as Tim is reminding him that this is momentum racing. Keep your momentum 8. And then on the 38 of Zane Smith, having a front end that is bumpy in 3 and 4, you can see some adjustments happening on that 38.
Track position is big here. You want control of the race. Corey Heim diving out first, +4 for the 11. Sanchez comes off second, Curry third, and Zane Smith goes 3 in the wrong direction.
That was a traffic jam. That's what that was all about, popping out at the wrong time.
Ben Rhodes comes off in 7th. That's +5 for him. On board with Matt DiBenedetto, who said, what is happening here? This is pit road, for crying out loud. was a Debbie Downer on this broadcast earlier that said there's a chance of rain in Nashville. Are you kidding me, Michael? Look at this. What a beautiful sunset in Music City.
Ah, so nice. Such a great evening. The rain chances have dissipated, Adam. At this point, I think we're clean and green.
That's the update from staff meteorologist Michael Waltrip.
I have an update about the phone as well.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. It was the 46 truck of Memphis Villara. His crew chief, Tim Silva, left his phone on the truck and it fell out.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Now look at this. Explain the rest of this story, Phil. What goes wrong?
Watch the blue truck. Zane Smith, he pulls out, and Corey Heim pulls out from around Majeski, and is going so slow that it's going to cost Zane at least 2 spots to Sanchez and Curry. But he has a fast enough truck, he might be able to get him back.
I was going to say, he didn't start up there when the race began.
No, he didn't.
Found his way there.
Yeah, this is a great, going to be fun on these restarts. We talked about that already, but having Zane, the fastest truck, off that front row, it's anybody's game.
Sanchez started on the pole at 38 laps. Zane Smith got the advantage, 11 to go, won the opening stage. He's led 11 tonight. Corey Heim gets his first opportunity out front. Took that inside lane. Outside of him, the aforementioned Sanchez as they push Carruth to the garage. Raja being scored more than 10 laps down.
We all knew he was here.
Nice restart by Corey Heim down on the bottom, and a good pit push from Bailey Curry. And he's going to take that push and swing wide.
Bailey Curry has done a really good job, row 2 on restarts, giving a shove to whoever is in front of him on these restarts.
Sanchez makes his way by Taylor Gray in the 17.
Oh, got a couple of trucks up high in the middle of 3 and 4, and Zane Smith and that bright blue and yellow truck making some nice moves down there in 3 and 4.
First time we've seen Ben Rose, the 99 truck, up in the top 10.
Gained
tonight.
5 spots on pit road, Phil.
Yeah, doing a nice job now. See if they can make some adjustments. And
3 wide.
We're all thinking the same thing, aren't we, Michael?
Here comes Christian Eckes. First time he's been in the top 10. That 19 truck was really good in practice, and they are stacked up off turn 4.
Stage 1, 45 laps. Stage 2, 50 laps.
So Grant Enfinger thought about moving below the 25 de Benedetto. Look at the movement. De Benedetto going by Eckes and Taylor Gray.
They got tied together. I think there's some bumping that went on into turn 1.
Little brotherly love in that outside lane. Tanner pushing Taylor. 5 of Dean Thompson had an issue with that truck. Didn't make a qualifying run. Coming from the rear.
And Dean is fast.
That 66 is Jake Drew making his debut here for Thorsport, our Arca Menards West champion from last year. This first start of 2023.
Daniel Dye dropped outside the top 20 on that pit stop and is fighting his way back up front. Look at this mess.
Couple teammates lined up. Jake Drew in the 66. Majeski behind him.
Yeah, you're talking about Daniel Dye in the night he's having. 14th right now for the rookie from Florida. He had a pit issue late at St. Louis before they were able to rebound for his career best 11th. So he's been accustomed to having to drive his way through the field in recent weeks.
Yeah, and he was in the top 5 in that race too. First time we've seen that type of speed from the 43. Daniel's doing a great job running right along behind Grant Enfinger, and see Stuart Friesen up on the outside. Be cool to fly back to the Daytona Beach Airport with a trophy from Nashville guitar, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's from DeLand, Florida. He is working over Grant.
And he'll give Grant a lot of credit for his success this year. Daniel Dye said he's a great sounding board, somebody to lean on. Right now he's leaning on him.
That's when he's got to be really careful. When you respect the guy, you see him clip the apron there a bit, respect like a guy like he does Grant. You don't want to make a mistake there, but he knows right now he's faster.
I'll tell you, the rookies have been great tonight. I mean, we're talking about die. His teammate Raja Carruth was up front before they had the problem, had to go to the garage. Sanchez starts on the pole, leads all those laps. Taylor Gray up inside the top 10. First-year drivers making a splash in Nashville. A couple of veterans going at it here. Hocevar racing Ben Rhodes. That's for 5th.
Carson was able to drive by Ben, getting in the corner, clear him.
Carson ring in the bottom. You see Corey Heim's getting some company from Bailey Curry. Bailey, the fastest truck last lap around, and he is right there.
Tell you, I can't say enough. We can't say enough about the 41 of Bailey Curry. Limited opportunities, but every time he shows up, you know he's here. 4th earlier this season at Atlanta, and here he is knocking on the door of the race lead behind one of the best in Corey Heim.
You can see the little yellow chiclets there on the left side. That's the spots gained since the restart. 7 spots for Daniel Dye as well as Jake Drew. And how about Bailey Curry going for the lead?
The pride of Driftwood, Texas, trying to tow him around in the Craftsman Truck Series. Can he clear him? Yes, he can.
And you know what that is? First career lap led in a truck. We've seen that twice tonight. Who saw that coming?
The last time we said it, though, it didn't end well because that's right when Raja had his problems. We'll see if Bailey can hang on. Heim not going away.
So hard to do what Bailey's doing down there on the bottom. Just keep that in mind. These trucks are very aero sensitive and they can slide around sideways in a hurry.
Mike Hillman Jr. on top of the box.
That's when you got to really curb your enthusiasm. You got to just back her down just a little bit. Make sure you don't make a mistake. Still a lot of racing left tonight.
41 been impressive tonight, Josh.
Yeah, and I talked to crew chief Mike Hillman about Bailey Curry, and he said he was really excited to have Bailey behind the wheel. He said Bailey's their interior guy. He works in the shop, so they talk all the time. They have a great relationship. He knew this was a great opportunity. Remember, Bailey's a guy that earlier this season has a top 5 finish, a 4th place at Atlanta, so he was very confident hopping behind the wheel. Knew he had something special hopping in this truck tonight, and he's showing it so far, guys.
First time racing at Nashville in the Truck Series. It's not beginner's luck, it's talent.
You look in his mirror, though, and here comes Big Blue. That 38 truck of Zane Smith is so fast. He's closing in on these leaders.
So good on the long haul as the 38. Came from behind to win stage 1. He's 3rd right now. Behind Heim and Curry. We're going side by side on FS1. Halfway home, stage 2, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Corey Heim, the race leader. Bailey Curry is second. Zane Smith, who won the opening stage, is third. Sanchez was our pole sitter. He is fourth right now. And Carson Hocevar completes the top 5. Good to have you with us on this Friday night with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Adam Alexander. On pit road, Josh Sims and Amanda Busick. And we've got a good battle going for second here. Zane Smith starting to reel in the top 2.
Got to give Bailey Curley a lot of credit. He's trying every which way he can to pass our leader and just can't quite close the deal. And that's brought Zane, as you said, Adam, right back up into the battle. We've seen this movie before, a couple of different characters, but the same.
The more laps they put on tires, the better Zane's truck was in that first stage. Look at all these crew chiefs have had an opportunity to adjust on these trucks.
Ty Majeski slowed. A difficult day for them. Didn't qualify where he wanted to and not had the speed they wanted during the race, and an issue here.
I don't see any tires down on that. Do you, Mike?
No, but I don't. That's off turn 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to make it all the way back. This might necessitate a caution. Amanda, what are they saying in the 98 crew?
We're hearing it's an electrical issue. The truck will not fire.
Had 2 early cautions for incidents on track. The only other caution, the one that came ending stage 1. Could the problems here for Ty Majeski produce our 4th yellow flag of the night as we hit the 20 lap to go mark here in our second stint of the race?
That was crew chief Joe Shear Jr.
Ty drove it into the infield.
Going to stay green.
And that battle for the lead is still heating up.
Heim doing a great job, but Bailey Curry is just right in his hip pocket. Led the 1 lap. As soon as he crossed the start-finish line, Heim crossed him over, took it away, but Curry is there. Zane Smith a part of it, and it won't be long before Carson Hocevar starts to rear his head at the front.
What about that? The first 4 trucks, just about a second and a half separated. That's impressive. Here comes Carson. You mentioned him in the bright blue truck up top. And look at the traffic ahead. Carson's just got his foot on the floor saying, just hold on a second, I'll be there.
Just a couple laps ago, he was battling with Sanchez for that 4th spot as Corey Heim goes way up the racetrack around Corey Roper. But Hocevar has opened up now almost a second on that 5th place truck of Sanchez.
Well, you go back to the latter stages of stage 1, lap traffic was a factor when they mixed it up for the lead. Hocevar got caught there. He'll lose a little ground.
He's trying to figure out his way around those 2 lap trucks. Tony Breininger is right inside of Roper, and that's for the free pass. They don't pass another truck. Get back on the lead lap.
20 is Nick Lights.
Yeah, that'll put Lights in that position, so that story's over.
Dick's doing a pretty incredible job. Not a lot of experience here in the truck series. Driving for Tyler Young.
Talked earlier about the potential of some rain around the racetrack tonight. We feel like that's blown out. We should be okay, but it's worth pointing out this race is official. We've crossed the halfway point. Halfway does make an official race tonight, with that coming before the end of stage 2. So once we completed lap 75, we knew if we got rain, this race would in fact be able to be put in the books as the 4 of Chase Purdy makes a move on Stuart Friesen. Been a quiet night for the 52, who's back in 14th.
Yeah, that was a pass for the 13th spot for Chase Purdy.
Chase Purdy just seems to be getting better and better this year. I've really enjoyed watching the progress of him.
Had a great top 5 at our last time out at Gateway.
Ben Rhodes 6th. What's their story, Josh?
Well, you know, I talked to Ben after practice and qualifying, and he said, this truck is not where it needs to be. We know where we need to get it. He said it just wasn't turning the way they wanted, but they knew if they work on it during the race, they can get to where they need to be. Well, he started in the mid-teens, got out of the hornet's nest, as he called it, now running in 6th, and they feel good about the truck they have right now, guys.
And Adam, with with that type of progress, you're starting to think win now. You got out of the middle of the pack. You're up in the top 10. You've got a good truck. Ben's experience. He knows the adjustments he needs. He'll work together with the team, and this could be a winning truck before tonight's over.
I remember this is only the second race with Brian Ross, the crew chief, on board for Ben.
Raja Carruth back on track, Amanda.
Yeah, it's great to see it after the chaos that we were witnessing. I heard from the team, to add insult to injury, Raja lost that fuel pressure as he was trying to make the pass for the lead. They had the hood up on that truck. They were assessing the rear. The team was pushing on hoses. They were able to change out the fuel pump, started the truck up, and now it's back racing.
Yeah, I hate they had to spend all that time in the garage. He's being scored 34th, 32 laps down as the 24 just about had a moment behind him. Wow. Tanner Gray who slid up the racetrack.
Lost a lot of momentum too. He's running in the 9th position. Nearly crashed.
Racing with a lap vehicle of Spencer Boyd. Going to be 13 laps to go, stage 2 this time around.
I think it's important though for Rajan to get back out there. I mean, he's an inexperienced racer. They know they had the truck to win the race with. He took the lead. They can learn as this race goes on how the adjustments work on the truck, how the truck falls off when the tires get hotter. It's a good time for him to be out there making laps.
Plus, they have to make sure they fix the truck, make sure they fix what was wrong with the truck. Sometimes you can put it on jack stands and run the motor, and you won't have those issues. So it's really important for them to figure out what was wrong.
After getting caught up in the lap traffic, Hocevar has caught his stride again. Right behind third place Zane Smith.
Zane lost a little bit of touch from that second place truck of Bailey Curry.
Yeah, about a second behind him now, and he was right there in the mix.
Carson's caught Zane, as you pointed out, Phil, and Nick Sanchez rounds out our top 5. He's lost about 4 seconds to these leaders, so 4-horse race right now.
Caution, a lot of smoke on the racetrack. Stuart Friesen.
Wow, that's huge. Came in 14 points above the playoff cut line. Was not running great, outside the top 10, and now this for Stuart Friesen.
Think he went around, Phil?
I think he went. There was so much smoke, he must have gone around and then stopped on the apron.
Be lucky if he doesn't blow a tire, if that's indeed the case.
Our 4th caution comes out with 11 laps to go, stage 2.
Okay, I hear you over there, Adam.
You've worked with me long enough. You know what I'm thinking.
I think we're going to stop.
Well, if you've won a race, surely.
I think once you got to around lap 80 with 70 to go, I think most of these teams felt like that was probably in their window to try to save a little fuel. You knew you're going to get some caution laps now. You'll get some caution laps at the end of the second stage. That's what Ryan Preece did back in 2 years ago. He stopped on lap 80 and then topped off at the end of the stage, did not put tires on, and kept track position.
Here we got a bit of a look at what happened to Friesen.
Was 17th.
Oh, wow, yeah, just went around.
He's now being shown a lap down. Could have a big swing in the points tonight.
You talked about it at the top, Phil, that it was subject to be just that, a big swing here and there.
Some in the left rear had all loose or calipers broke or something. Yeah, we were going to really work on it, check it all out here in the regular stuff. Now, obviously, we're going to.
Here, Stewart thinks he has some sort of problem with the left rear.
Team huddling up to see what they can figure out.
You know, we've had the debate with 4 races to go in a regular season. Will there be drivers below the cut line that jump up? Will someone fall out? Will the driver tonight below the cut line that's made a great case, Nick Sanchez, leading all these laps, collecting stage points in stage 1, in line to do it again here in stage 2. And the driver right now that it appears destined to fall out, at least after tonight's race, would be Stuart Friesen with these problems. Set it off the top. It just makes the competition throughout the summer months, as you anticipate the playoffs, so intense.
I want to come right now, guys, because I think I can I can make it the rest of the way. I want to come now.
But
So I know I'm going to have track position.
I don't know. I want to stay out and win the stage, especially if I'm Nick Sanchez.
22 trucks on the lead lap. That could be a factor as well, how you manage the strategy.
Pile up those points. They're all coming. Oh, there goes Matty D. We talked about points. He needs some.
Josh, some of them are coming your way.
Yep, and one of those trucks is the 41 of Bailey Curry. That truck has been strong all night. His biggest complaint, just tough for him to pass. He was trying his best to get around the 11. At one point, running the fastest times. The team told him, just be patient out there, Bailey. Amanda?
Well, you see that 38 pulling in. Your stage 1 winner has been struggling with rear grip as you see those new tires go on the right-hand side. And then for Corey Heim, he's saying the truck is just firing off way too free and takes too long to come in. Little adjustments there before the 11 gets back on track.
A lot of positions changed hands on that opening cycle of pit stops. Corey Heim, the first off here. Smith, Hocevar, Rhodes, Curry, your top 5 off the pit lane. Matt DiBenedetto stayed out, a shootout to end stage 2 when we return. Going to be 5 laps to go stage 2 when we get the green flag. Matt DiBenedetto, the only driver that stayed out, a bit of a sitting duck here as all those other drivers have those fresh tires. Uncontrolled tire for Matt Crafton. Lane Riggs got a speeding penalty. Free pass goes to Mason Maggio.
This is going to be tough for DiBenedetto, holding off these snarling trucks behind him on those better tires. You know, I said I'd like to stay out. Well, if everybody else pits, I don't want to stay out. And that's what happened to Matt Benedetto.
Hey, the good news is he got a good restart, Michael. If you can get out there, maybe you can manage a little bit. And even if you don't win the stage, maybe stay in the top 10, collect some of those much-needed stage points.
Yeah, he was running 7th, though, when the caution came out. So anything worse than 7th, he lost ground.
It's going to be tough, I'll tell you that. He needs another caution to hold space.
He'd take that right now, wouldn't he?
Look at that big push from Zane.
That'll help.
4 to go. Corey Heim jumps to the race lead. He was out front when we got the caution. Good pit work by his team. Hocevar digging to the inside of Matty D.
And he wanted to get in that throttle, wanted that thing to stick.
He is doing a heck of a job hanging on, getting some good pushes, putting himself in a position to minimize the damage. So far, so good for this 25. A little wide off turn 4.
And if he could stay in the top 5, it would be huge.
Driving for his playoff life right here, isn't he?
Yeah, we know how hard this is, Phil, and he is doing an amazing job hanging on.
Hocevar to second. Matt DiBenedetto stays third. Daniel Dye going to bring out the caution.
Lane Riggs around. Oh, he's
got a, yeah. Brett Holmes got him.
Wow. Brett was in a tough spot there because Riggs was trying to back up the hill.
Riggs had that speeding penalty. Got stuck in the back, racing hard, and that's what put him in that position.
And Daniel Dye damage to that left front.
Yeah, Daniel was running in the 11th spot.
How big is this for Matt DiBenedetto? Huge. Third.
Michael just said it. The words just came out of his mouth. He needed another caution. Look at Brett Holmes' truck.
Brett was in a bad spot. He trying to go high and didn't expect Riggs to continue rolling up the hill and then tried to go low, and there just wasn't time to do so.
It's obviously going to end the stage. Break the points down and where everybody finished in a moment. First, let's see what brought out caution number 5.
So driving down in turn 1. And just lucky. Just got a little bit loose and chased it up the hill.
That was strange looking, wasn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it looked a little bit odd because there's grip up there, and obviously Lane Riggs came along and made contact with the left front corner. There it is right there for Lane.
And then watch. He lets that truck roll up the hill instead of locking the brakes down, and there just wasn't anything Brett Holmes could do. I mean, he could have tried to keep the path up top, but he was going to hit him either way.
Yeah, it looked like Lane should have locked those brakes up and just stayed whatever path he was on.
Driving it all the way to the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, never give up on it.
Just got away from him. Strange looking, though, like I said. It wasn't a big bobble. He just sort of started sliding. I believe they'll be able to repair the 43 truck.
He's remained on the lead lap.
That's a huge break for Stuart Friesen. I believe he will be our free pass. We saw him take that spin.
Yeah, that'll end the night for Brett Holmes. Unfortunately, we saw the damage on the front of that Chevrolet.
And we talked about Lane Riggs during qualifying earlier today. His dad Scott won the first ever truck race here at Nashville 2001, followed it up with Xfinity wins in 02 and 03. So the Riggs name has done some really positive things at Nashville Superspeedway. Unfortunately, tough break for Lane on this restart.
That might have been 3 or 4 of the best laps of Matt DiBenedetto's career.
Absolutely.
I mean, he had to do everything perfect to finish in that 3rd spot in that stage, and he got big pushes, but he held on to it and was able to hang in there and get those valuable stage points.
Yeah, I think he can thank Zane Smith for those big pushes he got to hold on to that 3rd spot.
But he also put that truck in a position where they had to push him. had to be on that tailgate.
Big points for Heim as well. He wins the stage. His 5th stage victory of the year. Came in the regular season point leader by 1 over Ty Majeski, who's had a very difficult night. So Heim padding his advantage in that category. And with 5 stage wins and a victory at Martinsville, he's now got 10 playoff points this season, does Corey Heim. Amanda?
When we go back to Matt DiBenedetto, he picked up 2 stage points in that first stage. Now with 8, that'll bring his total so far today to 10. Well, in articles, he's been congratulating his team on getting him to this position in points. Said it's been all of the creativity in getting these stage points that has put him in this position as he continues to look to race in a championship in the Craftsman Truck Series for the first time.
We overheard Chad Kendrick's radio, his crew chief, saying, I did that to you, buddy. I guarantee you he's going to give Matt DiBenedetto a big hug after this race if he's able to come home with a good finish, because that was awesome.
Tremendous effort for Matt DiBenedetto. But the star of the show right now in Music City is Corey Heim. He has more stage wins this season than anybody else. Lift in the corners. 2 stages in the books for the Craftsman Truck Series here in Nashville Superspeedway. Here the drivers making a good night of it when it comes to collecting stage points. Zane Smith won the opening stage. He gets 17 overall. Corey Heim gets stage 2. He's had a good points night. Matt DiBenedetto ends up with 10, but as we know, they stayed out to get the track position. He finishes 3rd in the stage. Now he's going to have to come down and get his service here. But you know what? Just over 20 trucks on the lead lap. He's going to start, depending on the choose, somewhere around 20th, just north of there. You know, you got to be patient, but we got a long way to go. He's got plenty of time to get back up, finish inside the top 10.
Grant Enfinger is going to follow him down pit road. And remember, these drivers and teams will have another set of tires in the pits in addition to the one they're putting on right now.
Amanda?
Well, Adam, they weren't sure if they were going to pit here. Actually, it was a miscommunication at the end of stage 2. The spotter was saying to stay out. The team was saying to come in. Matt ended up staying out, and they were trying to figure if they would have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race, estimating 55 to 60 laps there on fuel, but just not sure how this one will unfold. They took the safe route, came in. The spotter at the end said, "Hey, Matt, I'm really sorry. Thanks for sticking with me." Josh?
Well, just an update on the 23 of Grant Enfinger. He got damage on pit road a little while ago during the caution. They had to fix the left front of that car, truck that is. They came back down pit road to make a huge adjustment for that team. They really need to get that truck back to where it needed to be, hoping that big adjustment is the help.
It's a pretty significant contact on pit road.
That was wild.
The 5 of Dean Thompson
Watch how far Dean pulls out.
You see the 23 of Grant pulling out. That's him right at the dotted line. And
I mean, Grant had to be shocked that that 5 truck didn't make a left. He just drove him right into the side.
And that's typically the crew chief's job, to tell the driver how many lanes that he can move out. Now, again, that doesn't mean that the crew chief didn't say that and Dean decided to go even farther, but normally it's the crew chief's job.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should talk to Matt DiBenedetto, huh?
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt DiBenedetto, Phil Parsons and the boys in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, Phil.
Great job getting that top 3 finish in that stage. I know you had your work cut out for you. Did a great job on those older tires. But how about now? You gave up all the track position, got a bunch of stage points. What do you need for the rest of this race?
I need a lot of people to get out of the way. We have a lot of trucks to pass, but no, it's good to get those stage points. You know, we've really, I'm proud of our team, our Rackley roofing team. This is a big race for us. Team's had a lot of consistency lately, 3 top 10s in a row. I'm really proud of the hard work and the effort. And where we are in points, those points are super critical. So just trying to get everything that we can get. Now if we can drive on up there and get a good finish along with those stage points, it'll be a good solid day.
All right, buddy, go ahead and pass some trucks.
Sounds good. Thanks, Phil.
I just need people to get out of the way.
I needed that so many times in my career.
Final stage when we return. Going to be 48 laps to go when we hit the green flag here in our final stage. Brett Holmes, by the way, involved in that last crash. Got a report from NASCAR that he has been released from the care center. Good news there.
Yeah, we saw him riding to the care center on a golf cart. Looked dejected, but looked okay, and NASCAR confirmed that to us.
It's going to be a fun restart. Corey Heim inside a Carson Hocevar.
Ben Rhodes making his way up into the top 5, being a part of this battle.
He did this at Charlotte, laid in the weeds, and as Clint Boyer would say, the pay window opened and he was there. Slides into 3rd here behind Heim and Hocevar, but he won't stay there long. He's got company. Zane Smith to the inside of the 99.
Tyler Ingram with a nice dive into turn 3. Look at that mess behind them.
How about that green truck? Top 10 in the stage. Jake Drew, his first ever Truck Series start. Now he's in the middle of about 4 wide, at least 3.
Oh!
What a save by Drew.
And they're bouncing off each other on the back. Jake Garcia, 3 wide ahead of Matty D.
Chase Purdy in the 4. Matt DiBenedetto said, get out of my way.
That's what he said, right?
And they're getting out of his way. And if they don't, he might just shove him out of the way. How about the 25? Michael is already back up to 13th and a little fresher tires here.
There's the 66 getting into the 15 of Tanner Gray. The moment.
Well, Tanner Gray in such a challenging place when you talk about points, he can't afford to have an incident. Speaking of which, we've got our 6th caution of the night. The 5 is Dean Thompson, who had a problem in qualifying, didn't make a qualifying run, starts at the rear, had driven to 12th, and now he's got some damage.
Lots of damage.
Yeah, flat tires, some damage. It'll take him out of contention for a good finish.
I saw him squeezed up high on the front.
See all the letters gone off the right front tire. Racing with Christian Eckes. There's the contact right there.
Oh, and Eckes too. That looked like maybe an arguing match that escalated.
Another situation of them getting out of Matt DiBenedetto's way.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's 2 more. Looked like Eckes didn't receive any damage.
Matt is already up to the 11th spot.
It's incredible. And you get a caution here, you get a choose, you get a restart.
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yeah, he needed a couple cautions after he gets some spots, then just to close them up.
Hey, you mentioned everybody's got a set of tires. I mean, you're not going to pit here, certainly. Is there a scenario we get a caution later on that you give up the track position and use that set for anybody?
I don't think if you're a front runner, you will. We just saw it happen. Everybody stayed out, and Matty D, or everybody pitted, Matty D stayed out, and he was a sitting duck. He just drove his butt off and was able to hang in there. I just can't see him making up all that ground because the tires don't fall off greatly.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're outside the top 10, then it's worth a gamble for sure.
And we got 23 trucks on the lead lap, so that's a healthy number when you get inside of 40 laps to go, which is where we will be when we get this next restart, or right around there anyway.
You know, we talked about at the top of the show having 5 drivers right around that cut line within 25 points. We're heading towards that being a lot closer than 25 points for those 5 drivers.
And I don't know how much strategy we will see because of the non-competitive pit stops at Mid-Ohio in a couple of weeks. That road course will play out a little bit differently than a traditional road course because of the way that race will go being a standalone. But at Pocono, you definitely could see it. And there are a lot of cycles at a place like Richmond because of the way the tire wear is there.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, the tire is so important in Richmond for sure.
How about that? Richmond racing for those playoff spots. That's going to be a great night.
I remember way back in the day, Casey Kane winning at Richmond to make his way into the playoffs.
Yeah, forever that was the cutoff race for the Cup teams to find out who was in and who was out.
It's a healthy saw, isn't it?
That saw does its job, doesn't it?
think
gonna
I'd
be
put
hot.
I'd put gloves on.
Yeah, yeah.
She's gonna be hot.
And sharp.
Just trying to survive. I don't know. This could be a lost cause.
Yeah, futile effort here.
You know, he had some hiccups tonight, did Dean Thompson, but when you consider, as I said, where he started in this race and the gains they had made, he had put himself in position to get a top 10, maybe better.
He might have passed more trucks than anyone until that accident happened. Here comes Eckes. He was involved in that a bit. Stuart Friesen and Infinger also coming to pit road. These are probably for adjustments.
Going to be 42 to go here as they make these pit stops, Josh.
Yeah, not exactly the night Grant Enfinger wants, but hoping they can get a good pit stop here and get themselves in contention as they get 4 tires and fuel, Amanda.
Well, Christian was pitting, saying that the tires are smoked from sliding so far. You can see the Goodyears going on that 19 as he heads back for the end of this race.
Yeah, he didn't have any choice, I don't think. That was a long, smoky slide, as Amanda said, that Christian was able to survive. Didn't crash his truck, was a great job.
Plus, he lost most of his track position, so why not come in and put fresh tires? I know the guys up front don't have a lot more laps on their tires, but there are some.
It's crazy how the rookies are performed in this race tonight. We've said it a couple of times. And then you look at a guy like Eckes. You know, Majeski had his fair share of issues. Infinger, not the truck he wanted. Stuart Friesen. I mean, across the board, there have been some drivers that you just anticipate at a tough track like Nashville are going to rise to the occasion. They've had their difficulties, and some of these young drivers that you think would feel the pain of this place have been able to go out and get it done. Sunday on Fox, it's the finals of the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals from Norwalk, Ohio. It all starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Let's play a little trivia here.
All right.
What driver in tonight's field won NHRA Norwalk 2018?
Well, I mean, we've got a pro stock national champion in our field. I'm assuming it might be him.
How about it?
Tanner Gray?
En route to the title in 2018. He got it done at Norwalk.
The youngest ever to win an NHRA championship.
Is that a one-up? Because I threw the trivia out there. Phil answers it and then tries to better my facts.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. But man, that's
Is there any math? Is there any math? Can I do some math?
That's a great story that he won the championship, but he wanted to come NASCAR racing, and he's certainly a breath of fresh air in the trucks. A win waiting to happen in my eyes, riding along in the 7th spot right here. Crazier things have happened at Nashville. I seen a guy win from 5th on the last lap, daring 4 cars past coming to the checkers.
We remember it well.
Wonder why you remember it well.
And hey, by the way, he wants to win because when you look at the points as they run, he's got a playoff position by exactly 1 point right now. Green flag, 40 laps to go. Once again, the front row, Heim on the inside. To his right, Carson Hocevar.
Zane Smith in that 38's been a great pusher. He's right on the back of Hocevar.
So's Bailey Curry in that 41, Michael. Shoving Heim in that low lane. Hocevar outside, muscles his way to the point.
Oh, and they're going to be 3 wide. That's 66 after the big slide. Drew, he's hanging in there.
Ingram in the 16, having a great night. Chase Purdy, after a top 5 finish at St. Louis, is running 8th.
Oh, Bailey Curry with a strong run off of turn 2 takes that spot away, and here comes Matty D. Just ahead of him is Jake Garcia. Jake's doing another great job tonight. Hocevar last lap by just a couple of hundredths of a second faster than Corey Heim, who runs in 2nd.
Heim's led the most laps tonight, won stage 2, 56 out front for Corey. Sanchez led 37 from the pole. 12 led for Zane Smith, who won stage 1. Look at this racing. Stuart Friesen getting with it. Down to the inside of Taylor Gray. A little 2 for 1. He also gets Matt DiBenedetto.
Look at Matt Crafton, talked about not exactly loving this racetrack, doing a nice job battling for position inside the top 15.
That's his MO, right? I mean, just slow and steady wins the race. And Crafton told us during the practice qualifying show earlier today, this has not been a good joint for me, Nashville Superspeedway.
Yeah, he's had 9 top 10s and 15 starts here, but 5th is his best, and he's been so good over the years on intermediate racetracks like this. But Stuart Friesen, 7 spots gained since the restart after he came and got fresh tires.
This is an impressive outing for Jake Drew, too, in that 66. Superspeedway racing is tough in the truck. So just to get out there and roll up your sleeves and go to battle with Tanner Gray inside the top 10. Done a great job.
I want to guarantee you this is probably the first time he's been on a racetrack over a mile. Did he save it?
Big slide.
Looks like that right rear corner's still okay.
Needs to clear the 15 of Gray, but he's not able to do. Yes, he is. There's the spot. Now see if he can drive away. Watch this action off turn 4. Slides up in front of Gray, and it just gets loose. Little contact,
I
Phil.
think he did touch just a little bit.
We know how sensitive that right rear fender is. Hopefully it didn't disturb the aerodynamics of that number 66.
Drew started racing go-karts at age 5, graduated up through the ranks, and here he is. Impressive debut in the Craftsman Truck Series. Zane Smith won a championship last year, trying to get 3rd away from Bailey Curry, who's having a career night. All clear.
He got it. Now we can chase down that 11 of Corey Heim.
33 to go. Let's take you side by side on FS1. Hocevar, Heim, Smith, Curry, Rhodes, your top 5 at Nashville. .29 laps to go in the Rackley Roofing 200 from Nashville Superspeedway. Carson Hocevar continues to lead. You saw it side by side. Zane Smith able to get 2nd away from Corey Heim. Let's go 11 radio.
off. Sure, dirty air is probably not helping us there. This set of tires is not balanced or something. I'm shaking like crazy in the corner.
That's a distracting, aggravating feeling when you feel your tires shaking. Can't focus on driving faster. Can't figure out what the truck's doing because it's so distracting.
Zane Smith, once he got that second spot from Corey Heim, has been the fastest truck on the racetrack the last 2 laps.
Zane Smith needed a bounce back, right? I mean, they've had those 4 consecutive finishes, 20th or worse, even though they've been in position to do some positive things in the last month or so. But on the other end of that, momentum, confidence, all of those things coming in belong to Carson Hocevar. No, he hadn't won since he got that first career victory at Texas, but 4 consecutive top 5 finishes. And what he's done when he's run the Xfinity car, 2 top 10s, made his Cup debut. Across the board, he has been impressive and showing that confidence off again tonight.
Will also run the Xfinity race tomorrow, as well as Zane Smith will.
Nick Sanchez, a lot of speed, trying to crack the top 5.
Be huge for Nick. Comes in here just a little bit below the cut line. Nick's already received 9 stage points during this race. Finished second in that first stage. A good solid finish here will certainly help him.
He's showing 2 out right now, so Sanchez doing everything he needs to chip away at that cut line and try to make the playoffs in his rookie campaign for Rev Racing.
He is right there. These trucks are 6 seconds back from Carson Hocevar, who you said Phil that Zane had been gaining on him. That time Hocevar was the fastest truck, and he's got a 2-second cushion, so could be getting to a point where if Zane wants to do anything with our leader Hocevar, might need a caution.
Yeah, I agree.
Chase Purdy 8th, Josh.
Yeah, for Chase Purdy, it's crazy the difference a couple races can make. A couple weeks ago, he found himself inside the playoffs, and then he said he looked up after a race stretch of 5 races. He was outside the playoffs looking in. He said the biggest thing he learned from watching film, he needs to get better at restarts. He said those have been killing me. If I can clean those up, then I have a chance to get myself back into playoff position. So if we do get another caution, look for Chase Purdy and what he's been working on with those restarts, guys.
He just gets better and better and better each week, and I see a lot of speed from Chase, and that builds confidence, and you want to try harder. You want to be more aggressive when you gain that confidence. Top 5 last time out at St. Louis, and now another solid run here tonight.
You guys mentioned half the time this year he's been in the top 10, headed towards another one right here.
First year driving full-time for Kyle Busch, and he seems to have settled into the team that he needs to be with if he's going to make the gains he would like to advance in his career.
Carson just putting the laps down another time around. That time he lost about 1/10 of a second to Zane Smith, but he still continues to hold a healthy lead.
NASCAR just passed word to us Dean Thompson involved in that crash a number of laps ago, released from the infield care center. Thankful for that.
Really high line there for Carson.
Comes back to the start finish line. This will be our Craftsman 20 laps to go at Nashville. The advantage 1.9 seconds for Hocevar over second place Zane Smith. Corey Heim 3.3 seconds back. Bailey Curry is 4th. Ben Rhodes 5th.
Couple tenths gain that lap by Zane. Closed it back inside of 2 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Got it down under 2 seconds, and we were looking at that crazy wide line. I think that's a little higher than he wanted to be there. We'll see if he's able to pick up the pace on this lap.
Look at Timmy Hill in the 56, 18th inside the top 20.
Colby Howard, as you saw go by there, he's several laps off the pace in that 9 truck, but Hill's doing a great job inside the top 20.
Certainly is. A couple good stories here in the top 20. Right behind Timmy Hill is the 1 truck of Tony Breitinger. He's doing a nice job right now on the lead lap. running in the 19th position. Remember her debut at Kansas a few weeks ago with a top 15, another top 20. Good job for her. And she will make the trek to Minnesota to run the ARCA Menards race tomorrow night that we'll have on FS2.
Big thing
Elko,
for, big thing for her here and at Kansas, running all the laps and gaining that experience that you need if you're going to advance. 20 is Nick Lights.
Another truck up inside the top 20.
Yeah, driving for Tyler Young. 21st is his best career finish, so looks like he might be able to better that.
Mason Maggio in the 34 right behind him, and those are the last two trucks on the lead lap, so they're going to definitely have respectable finishes. They can just finish up what they've started.
Maggio got the free pass earlier, hanging in there.
Levrak on the side of that 34 truck for Maggio.
So Hocevar was in the same straightaway as them. He's probably about 2 seconds behind them right now.
It's going to be interesting to see what role lap traffic plays late in this race. We saw it a factor into stage one, also saw it when they were battling for the lead before the caution came out at the end of stage two.
That lead is now under 2 seconds, down to 1.5. So Zane is making some inroads on the lead that Carson was enjoying, and that gets on your nerves as a driver. Every truck you catch won't get out of the way. You look in the mirror and that truck gets bigger. Your spotter's just telling you, pay attention to what's ahead of you.
And they're racing for position too, those trucks ahead of him. You want them to get out of your way, but they're also racing. We just talked about them racing for the top 20. This is going to hurt Carson right here.
Carson Hocevar saying the same thing that Matt DiBenedetto told you on the radio. I need these drivers to get out of my way.
That 34 truck wanted Carson to go low, but Carson's been running the high lane, so that threw his timing off.
14 laps to go. The advantage is 2.5 seconds.
Battle for 5th here.
This is huge for Sanchez.
There he goes. Strong center of the corner there for that 2 truck.
Look up there in the pylon. We're seeing who's fastest and how tight the front runners are right now.
They all run the same lap speed.
Exactly.
Crazy. Ben's trying to fight back on the inside of Sanchez.
Sanchez clears him. Been fast enough to be all over the back of Ben, so I expect him to drive away. This thing's winding down. There's a good run too. Jake Garcia. He's in the 11th position, steadily gained all night long. Running just ahead of Stuart Friesen, who had that spin and got back on the lead lap.
Nice recovery by Stewart, though.
Yes.
To get back to that 12th spot. There he is, that red truck, the Ferris Mowers truck.
But you know, he had that big rally. It's like he got to 12th, 13th, and then he's been able to do nothing more with it. But as they run right now, he's still above the cut line. Came in plus 14, right now showing plus 2. Bottom of the pylon there, you see where everyone runs right now, and when we finish tonight, there'll be only 3 races to go to the playoffs, and next time around there will be only 10 laps to go for Carson Hocevar, who's trying to get his 2nd career victory.
But he looks in that mirror, and there's the 38 of Zane. We know how good this truck's been on the longer run.
I go back to last year. Ryan Preece was leading. Zane Smith was 2nd, and before you knew it, Zane Smith was right there. Couldn't make the pass and take the win away from Ryan Preece, but boy, did he make a big rally in the final 6-7 laps a year ago.
Michael, he gained 1/4 second that lap. Zane did. Oh, trouble.
Trouble.
That's Friesen and Christian Eckes. Caution comes out. Inside of 10 laps to go. Actually, right at 10 to go. 7th yellow of the night.
I think the top 11 on the racetrack right now, positions, all have a set of tires left.
And that was Phil Gould, the crew chief for Carson Hocevar. He's doing the math, doing the calculation in his head. What is the right call here?
I think we have about 18 trucks on the lead lap.
One of the crew guys suiting up there. Does that lead you to believe maybe they're going to go over the wall?
They got to be ready. They got to be ready to go over the wall. Well, I don't know.
That's the last thing Carson Hocevar and maybe even Zane Smith wanted to see. Zane had gotten that lead down to 1 second. See if we can see what happens to Stewart. Was Grant Enfinger involved in this as well?
Stewart just running the high side. Just
yes, he was.
Definitely some contact. Christian with absolutely nowhere to go.
Stewart did not want to see this, trying to battle for his playoff life. You can see him just get classic loose off the corner.
Caught the right rear.
That could be 3 spots right there for Matt Benedetto.
Yeah, certainly 2.
And it's not just that he picked up the spots, but who he's taking them from, with Friesen going in the wrong direction. You said it, Michael. This is not what he needed at this stage of the race.
Now it's all about damage control for the 52 and maybe even Grant Enfinger.
And who's going to gamble and put tires on? I mean, if I'm on the outside of the top 10, without a doubt, I come put tires on.
Here's 42 radio, the race leader, Carson Hocevar.
Depends on how many you think is going to stay, and if we actually think we're going to win the race off pit road. I mean, I think I'd take clean air over tires. Yeah, man.
I like that driver.
Sounds like they're going to stay out.
Yeah, man. The driver said that's what, you know, that's what you want from your guy.
So many variables if you pit. Do people stay out? Does someone get 2 tires? Yeah. Do you have a bad stop?
And how many laps are we going to get to run?
That's the biggest thing for Carson Hocevar is who follows me to pit road. If I go there and 10 of them come with me, that's cool. But if they don't, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And the exact opposite. If he stays out and they all pit, I just don't see many of them. I said earlier that some should pit, and only 1 did. We'll see what happens here.
See, I don't think Grant Enfinger, I don't think necessarily has a set of tires left. He's in 12th. Pit road is still closed. You can see the red flashing light. Christian Eckes, with all his damage, comes down pit road anyway.
So pit road's closed. You get 7 to go. Let's just say it opens next time. You pit. You get 6 to go. You do the choose. I mean, we're looking at inside of 5 laps. All of that is helping the decision and making it much easier for a guy like Phil Gould that just says, let's stay out, keep the track position, and hold them off.
I think all those trucks right now running up front, I think it's making the decision easier.
It's never dull, is it?
Tense times down on pit road right now, whether you're a crew chief or the mom of a racer.
Drama here tonight. There'll be more drama in a couple of weeks when we go road racing in the Midwest, Mid-Ohio, playing host to the Craftsman Truck Series. It'll be the 14th race of the year, and we'll be down to 3 races remaining to determine the 10 drivers that will run for the championship in 2023.
Could we see a surprise winner on the road course? You mentioned Tyler Ankrum earlier, having a top 5 at COTA earlier this year.
Saturday, July 8th, coverage on FS1 begins 12:30 Eastern Time.
How cool is it to watch our trucks hop those curves and go left and right through the countryside? Road racing is so cool.
Okay, we got to open pit road now. Let's open pit road.
Pit road is open.
Bailey Curry, nothing to lose.
Nick Sanchez.
This could be good, y'all.
41 coming to you, Josh.
And I could tell you crew chief Mike Hillman was not happy with that caution. He slammed his fist on the pit box when it came out, but he said we are coming to pit no matter what to get those tires.
Looks like 2 tires only for Bailey Curry. Going to be 4 for Sanchez.
It's going to be offense versus defense on what could be the final restart of the night.
Sanchez got blocked in too, Phil. Slow exit for him. Jake Drew also slow stop in that 66 back there.
Ankrum comes out behind Sanchez. There's Taylor Gray.
This is going to be wild. Did I mention earlier there's hungry drivers?
Yes.
And they're going to have fresh tires on some of those trucks and old ones on others. A recipe for NASCAR overtime.
It's looking like the top 6 trucks stayed out.
As we do the choose, Hocevar, the leader all night, been taking the inside lane. Zane Smith on recent restarts has been going outside. Do we anticipate those same choices from the top two here?
I think you have to take the front row. I don't think you can give up the front row, because you never know if Carson Hocevar could spin the tires and Zane could get the advantage. You could have another quick caution. If Zane's out front as they go by the timing line, then he would have the lead for the next restart.
Do the choose with 5 to go. We'll get a restart with 4 remaining.
I don't think they're going to give them
they're
one
not.
to go. See the caution flag waving
Yep.
up top. They're still sorting out the lineup. We get word from NASCAR.
So the plot thickens. Going to be even less time. And those drivers that came down pit road and got the tires are saying, "Are you kidding me? Let's do the choose and get the green back out."
Let's go. Bailey Curry looks like we'll probably restart on the 4th row.
First of the trucks with fresh tires.
And he's got 2 tires on that 41. There's Bailey. Just trying to close out what could be a career night for him.
Hey, we were talking about Chase Purdy and how good he's been lately. So, you know, they stay out here and they're going to be a part of this mix. A guy like Garcia, who has not won, needs to win to get in the playoffs. There he is. One of those drivers that stayed out, unfortunately, on the back end of that group, but going to have some great track position.
There's
with this restart that's going to get wild.
Our NHRA champion, Tanner Gray. He's up in the top 5 trying to put it together on the oval.
And remember, Bailey Curry has not run all the races. He is not playoff eligible. That truck would be playoff eligible, but not the driver.
We got everything sorted out with the lineup here, so should do the choose this time around with 4 to go. Return to the green flag with 3 to go.
We saw the 19 of Christian Eckes come to pit road before it was open. He and Stuart Friesen both. They will have to restart from the tail end of the field.
And Tony Beidinger talked about her being in the top 20. She got the free pass and she's 18. So another solid effort. Like you guys said, running all the laps, learning. Good job by her.
Hocevar inside, Zane Smith outside, just as you guys anticipated. Top 2 take the front row.
Matt Crafton, steady as she goes. You talked about up to 11th. How will he fare on this craziness that's getting ready to ensue when that green flag goes in the air?
We talk about restarts and how important they are and how much more aggressive people are nowadays than they used to be. Well, how about we're going to have a restart with about 3 laps to go? How crazy is this going to be?
Well, let me just tell you what I predict, Phil.
It's not going to be the last one.
My years of experience here in the broadcast booth. We're going to have another one after that. It's going to be NASCAR overtime. There's no way with the different tires on these trucks and what we've seen all night long, 3 and 4 wide, that they can make it back.
Zane Smith was racing for the win with 5 to go at St. Louis and was caught up in an accident, finished 20th. Here he is again, front row for the restart with Carson Hocevar. Doesn't get any better than this, does it? Bunch of drivers in the top 10 looking for their first career victory, and a couple of drivers on the front row that have their eye on a championship. 3 laps remaining for the Craftsman Truck Series. Here we go from Nashville Superspeedway.
Those front row guys are saying, give me a push, give me a push.
Purdy, big shove for Hocevar, who jumps out front.
Purdy blocks Gray.
Zane Smith gets away in second.
Look at the Benedetto on the very inside.
Blue and white 25 is Matt DiBenedetto.
Chase Purdy pulls up in front of Enfinger. There goes Ben Rhodes.
Two laps to go for Carson Hocevar.
Can they make it back one more time?
Sanchez with those tires is going to get up to third here. Keep an eye on the 2 truck looking for his first win. And remember, Hocevar beat Sanchez on a last lap pass earlier this year at Texas.
Sanchez driving for all he's worth right now. He knows he has a tire advantage.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Carson Hocevar. Next flag ends the race at Nashville. Zane Smith is there.
Oh, Zane with a little bit of a push there on the exit, losing a little momentum.
So much momentum lately for Carson Hocevar, delivering at every level. His confidence is up. Sanchez trying to get second from Zane Smith, and that's happening behind Carson Hocevar, who wins at Nashville. And now Phil Gould can breathe. We stayed out, we didn't pit and get the tires, and we won the race.
I love love.
I think we might have missed a little bit of the conversation at some point.
Winning makes everything better, doesn't it? My palms are sweating just like if I was driving one of those darn things. I just couldn't imagine how they could all make it back with a 3-lap battle, but they did, and Carson Hocevar is able to celebrate doing those wonderful victory burnouts.
Zane Smith held off Nick Sanchez for second. Corey Heim ends up fourth. Bailey Curry, second top 5 finish of the year. And oh, by the way, triple truck challenge, give $50,000 to Carson Hocevar.
Wow, 50 grand.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus when you're a winner, because you're like, the checker flag's what it's all about. And then you get to victory lane, they say, you got 50 grand extra. Oh, wow. It's even better. What a couple of months it's been for this young racer.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And he gets to do it again tomorrow.
Yes, he's been really good in the Xfinity Series.
I said it, performing at every level. Think about what he did in the Cup car at St. Louis. You mentioned the Xfinity Series, Michael. 5 consecutive top 5 finishes here in the Craftsman Truck Series, including his second win of 2023 tonight.
He's going to climb the fence. Remember now, he broke his ankle last year. He needs to take it easy.
Here comes Mom. He left her boots up there,
He needs to
Carson.
go get his booties.
6th win for Nice Motorsports. The embrace.
And a big hug from Mom. And Carson, your whole family just ran over here to congratulate you. You punctuate this 4 races in a row with top 5 finishes, the best streak of your career with a win. How much are you enjoying this ride that you're on?
I say I enjoy it a lot right now. And I enjoy it especially because every one of these fans were cheering and hollering or booing, who cares. But I'm so excited I get to hold a trophy, and I led it to the line, to the white, and carried it around, so I could finally get that out of the rest. And hopefully that puts together any doubters. And out in East, I hope he lets me drive a truck for a long time, because I want to win a lot of races for him. And in the meantime, hopefully I can win a lot more races everywhere else under the sun, and any car I get in. And I'm just thankful that I have owners and people. Worldwide Express, our president, Mike Grayson, finally gets to be here. He wasn't here for Texas, so just Phil Gould's a magician with these things, and just glad I'm finally being able to put a fraction together what he deserves.
It's fun to remind drivers and the fans here that you are now $50,000 richer because of the Triple Truck Challenge presented by Craftsman. How does this help support your team?
I was really dumb and put gas in my diesel truck, and I had to pay a bill that he doesn't even know I did. So hopefully that'll pay that off. My dad's at home. His birthday's this weekend, so hopefully happy birthday, Dad. My girlfriend Peyton, I begged her to come, so hopefully this will make her come more often. But man, I love every one of these people that is behind me, and everybody that's at home, and everybody's that's been ever around me. So I wanted to keep going, but I also wanted to save this thing otherwise. But I got lost in my own cloud. I stood up, and I don't even know if y'all could see me, but man, we're gonna celebrate for a while, but I still got a race tomorrow. But luckily I'm 20, so I just get to watch a bunch of other people get drunk.
The 42 is headed to victory circle, Josh.
Well, Zane Smith comes home runner-up here at Nashville for the second year in a row, but you end a streak of 4 straight races finishing in the 20s. Nice to break through even though you didn't get the win.
Yeah, definitely frustrating. Want to win here really bad. Love this place. Just need to be better on restart. Struggled really bad all night from first to second, but third to fourth I was really good. They would just be too far ahead, and then that final restart, the 11 had just jumped outside of us and just pulled us back even more. And was catching him. I feel like we were better than him, but he just had the track position, and he had the clean air. We did not.
Runner-up for Zane Smith here at Nashville, guys.
I feel like that interview is identical to the interview he gave last year when he was trying to run down Ryan Preece. Let's pay off the triple truck challenge. Nobody gets the big bonus for winning multiple races. 50 grand though goes to Ben Rhodes for getting it done at Charlotte, Grant Enfinger at St. Louis, and tonight belonged to Carson Hocevar.
A lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of spirit from the truckers trying to grab these checker flags, and what a great race we had here tonight.
This kid has been on a ride. Big Mo is on his side, and he's heading to the stands to celebrate with the fans. That is awesome.